Still here at Letus's booth, we're talking to cinematographer Ryan Walters. And Ryan, I see a camera spinning around on a tripod. This looks really cool, but sell me on this, man. I got to be convinced. Why do I need a camera that can spin?
Because it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. What Letus really wants to do with this product is take these spinning motions down, from the hands of high-end productions and bring it down to everyone. To do this kind of move, requires a rig, tens of thousands of dollars, expensive rentals. But now, their target price point, they're still working it out, but they'd like to get it somewhere around $2,000, $2,500. They want to go lower if they can, but you can spin the camera around the optical axis and open up some really creative shots. So you could have somebody laying on the ground, but the camera looks like they're standing up, and as you pull out, the camera can rotate around them and reveal that they're actually laying down. So it opens up all kinds of new possibilities. You throw it on the end of a jib. In the music video that I shot, put it on the end of a 30-foot Jimmy jib. Put it on the end of a porta jib, which is 5 feet. Threw it on a Kessler cine slider. Throw it on a tripod. The only limits are your imagination.
Right. And so because it's rotating on the true optical center here, you're not seeing any shift at all. It's just a true rotation.
Exactly.
Our coverage of NAB 2012 is brought to you by Kessler, innovative tools for filmmakers. Letus Direct. It's better with Letus. LetusDirect.com. Next Lights. Get lit.
Okay, and it looks like you guys got it paired with some of the Kessler stuff. And so is that for, how would you run this? You would set it up and either control it just manually directly on an as shot needed, or time control? Or
Yeah, exactly. There's so much Kessler product out there. They don't want to increase the expense and make it as compatible as possible with everybody's existing product line. So the Kessler motors can be programmed, so you can get whatever programmed shot you want out of it. Like if you're doing a time lapse, you could even spin your time lapse move, or without programmed, you can just use the motor back and forth. There's also a option for a hand crank. So if you're
cool.
if you want to simulate like a rocking motion, you could get your little rocking motion. Or if you're a photographer and you're using like a Scarlett or an Epic to do photos, and you want to go from a landscape to portrait, done. Quick and easy. Or something that I find myself doing is with green screen, and shoot it vertically and to get the most resolution, and is an easy way to flip your camera.
So at the most basic level, you could use it to just modify an existing tripod head, turn into a 3-axis head.
Yeah, exactly.
And scale it all the way up from there.
Yeah, and it'll work with anything from small DSLRs up to the Scarlett, Epic, and the music video I shot with the C300. So.
What's the weight capacity on something like this?
Well, the ball bearings can support up to 9,000 pounds. So if you want to spin your car.
So suffice it to say, I don't think you'll
there.
ever max it out with a camera.
No, the only limiting factor is actually this little plate here, which can hold 50 pounds. So 50 pounds or less, you're good to go.
Okay, cool. And it looks like there's plenty of room for a larger lens there as well.
Well, this is the prototype that I worked with, and based off of feedback that I gave Letus, moving in this direction. This would be good for smaller lenses and stuff like that. This is good for bigger lenses and bigger setups, because the bigger your lens gets, the more frustrating the smaller hole will get. This alleviates all those problems.
Now, potentially, and since you've shot with this, maybe you can tell me, would you just mount like a remote follow focus off of this point here to be able to handle focus on a move, or how would that work?
Yeah. The rods give you the mounting points for the remote follow focus, depending on how severe your move is. My assistant also used just the standard Letus follow focus on the end of it. If you're not going to full 360s, I had a couple moves where it was just rocking back and forth, and my assistant was able to pull with a normal follow focus.
Right, cool. Now, what's the availability and price point on this? Is that common knowledge yet, or?
Yeah, the availability, they hope to have it out in the next 1 to 2 months, and then price point is still being refined as they come to the final deliverable. But their target is 2,000, 2,500 tops, but they'd like to arrive at 2,000 or less.
Great. Well, I know you were also showing me earlier some of the filtration you guys have been working on. That looks exciting. I want to see this.
Yeah, that is all kinds of crazy, and I don't know how they did it, but it's all kinds of fun. What they offer is a variable ND that is also a variable color temperature. So in one direction, you have a 10-stop variable ND. So you can go from day to night.
Our coverage of NAB 2012 is brought to you by CINEVATE, tools for filmmakers and photographers. Delaloose, apparel for filmmakers. ZEISS, we make it visible.
So I know on some of the other fader NDs that you get this variation in the gradients where it doesn't fall off evenly and you get dark spots in your image. Do we still have that type of artifact on this, or?
I haven't seen it in my use so far, so I don't.
So it's a completely smooth 0 to 10.
Smooth. I mean, they are two polarizers. So as you pan left to right, depending on the position of the sun, you get that gradation, but that's natural for any polarizer. But as far as spots, that's not there.
Right, and then so you were saying you flip it around.
Yeah. So the same set of filters, you flip it around, and now you have a color temperature filter, so you can go from daylight to tungsten balanced. A lot of times to get a cleaner image out of a sensor, you want to shoot it at its natural balance, and this allows you to get there. And something that I particularly like about this matte box in combination with this filter set is that they have marked the filters with numbers on there. So as you're doing it, you can actually tell where you're at.
Yeah, right there, just by dialing it and on the top.
So that way it's all repeatable, and so if you need to return back to a setup and you need to know where you're at, you're not guessing.
Yeah, or if you're marking in your camera reports, you could put down exactly what that is.
Yep.
Now, would this also work in a standard rotating filter tray in a regular matte box?
Yep. The sizes are standard. The back is a 138 mil filter, and then the inside filter is a 4x5.6 Panavision size.
Okay. So you still need to stack both those, right?
Right. To get the effect, you need to use both of them.
Now, what does this set of filters run?
The set of filters runs $500 for the pair.
And currently available at Letus?
Currently available at Letus and Letus Direct.
And Ryan, what's your personal website if people want to track some of the projects you're involved with?
Yeah, you can check out the music video that I shot using the Helix, as well as various training videos that I have and other content at ryanewalters.com.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more coverage fresh from the floor.